Dear you, it's been 21 years now since I've heard from you. So many things have happened through these 2 decades. I've wondered how you were doing, and I've wondered what you'd be doing if I could still see you. These are just some of the things that I've wondered the past 20 something years. Some nights I lay in bed and wondered how different my life would be if you were still around. Some nights I've wondered if you'd be proud of me, or if you would even care the few things I've accomplished. I don't remember much of you, and I don't have a lot of memories, but what I do remember is this. I remember you laying on the couch, watching me play a NASCAR game with an actual steering wheel and pedals. I always had a blast using them. I always felt like an actual kid when you watched me. I guess that's why I like when people watch me nowadays. It makes me feel important. You would watch me and help me and teach me how to play and get better at this NASCAR game. Another thing that I remember is the time when you were laying in the hospital bed and I was able to visit you. I ended up going into the other hospital bed to lay there for whatever my 4-year-old mind was thinking. I laid there, enjoying the comfy feeling that only a hospital bed can give you. This was around the time you started to mess with the controls, making the bed move up and down like it was a first-time attendee on a roller coaster. I started to freak out, and you started to laugh. My 4-year-old mind observing the machines that you were hooked up to, trying to comprehend why you were here or why we had to visit you in this hospital. If only I knew what I know now then. If only I had the capacity to understand that you were dying and that you wouldn't be okay. My memories aren't all sunflowers and rainbows, though. I remember some terrible things. One of them I can't recall very well because I think I subconsciously pushed it out of my mind. But I do remember the mug. I remember what you did to my mother with that mug. The broken piece from it that was never replaced. I was sitting on the ground, my back facing you and my mother. In front of me was a wall and a doorway. You guys were yelling at each other. I don't remember why. As moments turned into seconds and seconds turned into minutes, you guys got louder. Next thing I know, you struck her. Not once did I look behind me to see what was going on. Not once did I ever take my eyes off this wall and doorway. I sat there trying to comprehend what just happened. I wanted to look behind me, but I knew if I did, I might have been brought into it too. How I wish I could have defended her from you when you got aggressive with her. If only my 3-year-old mind was able to be the shield that my young mother needed. My last memory I have of you, I remember looking at your casket, wondering why you were sleeping and why we were all gathered in this big building. Each stranger in this big room was taking turns walking up to you. Some were crying and some were comforting others, and me, I had walked up to your bed, looking down at you, seeing your eyes closed and your lips in a flat line. I told myself that you'd be waking up soon, and all the grown-ups were just sad because they missed you. They all knew you were going to be sleeping for a little while. I eventually walked away because my mother told me to go into the next room with someone, and that I was allowed to play trash ball with some paper and a trash bin. During this entire visit, not once did a tear fall from my face, mainly because I did not know how to be sad at something I did not understand. I reflected on my thoughts about you and what little memories I have. And the biggest thing that I held on to is that I do not want to be anything like you. If anyone says I resemble my father in the slightest, I tell them that I'm everything that's not you. I'm nothing like you. I hate that we have the same smile. I hate that we have similarities. And sometimes I miss you, and then I realize that I don't, and it's probably for the best that you're not here. It's not that I hate you, it's just that I hate that I am like you. I get so mad when I hear stories of guys being aggressive to their girlfriends because it reminds me of you. Let me repeat that for the ones in the back. It's not that I hate you, I just don't want to be compared to you. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But if there's one phrase in this world that would tear me down into tears, it's, "You're just like your father." Only one person has ever said this to me, and the pain that was created will stay there forever because I know it's true. I strive to be something that isn't you. From my understanding, you were a good man when you weren't drunk. But also from my understanding, you were drunk all the time. Nowadays, I can't drink due to health reasons, but to be honest, I don't think I would ever look at the bottom of the bottle. I would be too afraid to turn into you. What if I drink with my future girlfriend or something and I turn into an aggressive version of myself that reflects you? I can never forgive myself if I harmed the girlfriend or even my friends. I never told my mom any of this, so I'm sure when she hears this, she will ask, why did I keep this in? And honestly, I wouldn't have an answer. Speaking of my mom, she's doing great. I'm so proud of her. She has grown into a beautiful soul. I share the same good old soul that she has. And we joke about how I am my mother's son, and even though we joke about it, we both know it's true. Some of the stuff she has achieved is amazing. I'm not sure if you'd be proud of her, but I know now she would never take the pain and aggression you would throw at her. But no matter how strong she is, I know you left her scarred and broken. Some pieces of her will never be fixed, no matter how much she tries. She will only ever be able to put a Band-Aid on and say, I'm okay. The countless nights of her screaming in bed at 3 a.m. because she had a nightmare of you. The flashbacks invading her dreams, making them not so peaceful. It's sad to have to carry the weight of what you did to her. At times, I wish I could heal her too, you know? I want to take away all of that buried pain, and I want it for myself because she doesn't deserve it. I want to be that shield that I couldn't be before. I want my mom to be happy and okay. I want her to be okay. No matter how much she says she is, I know that she is not. But she has to be because she has people that look up to her. She has to be the armor that has been refabricated over and over again because she has a job to heal. When the stage 4 esophagus cancer took your life on September 7th, 1998, I was 4 years old. At this time, I still lived in the town that we had your funeral in, and I remember old memories of that big building. In my head, I had convinced myself that you were still in your bed sleeping and that you would be coming back. It wasn't until Mother and I went to your gravestone and she explained to me what it means to sleep forever. She told me that you wouldn't be coming back, but you were in a better place and you weren't in any pain. No more chemo. No more IVs and tests. No more nurses and doctors. Maybe, just maybe, this was better for you. If I could sit down now with you and tell you everything on my mind, I would start off by admitting that some nights I laid in bed and cried because I never got closure with you. I would lead the rest of my life wandering aimlessly in my head, trying to give myself answers. Little did I know that the answers I was searching for were already there in front of me. It was just my choice to accept them. I would continue to tell you that I have made it a personal goal to be a good person alive. I would tell you that I share some of your mental illnesses, the depression, the possible bipolar, and the anxiety. But the difference between me and you is that I have acknowledged my flaws and my imperfections, and I have embraced them more. I accepted my mental health challenges, and I have built metaphorical life jackets to keep myself from drowning. Yes, it's hard. Yes, some days are worse than others, but that idea to keep moving forwards so I don't fall into the same abyss you fell into is a fuel that keeps me going. I would ask you why you never took your meds or why you'd be gone on the boat for months on end. I would even ask you why the fuck did you use Mom as your own personal punching bag? She was 21 years old, and you would abuse her. And then when you see the bottom of the bottle too many times, you would start thinking she was someone else. I don't ever want to change all of the things that have happened to me. My past is my formula that made me who I am. But if you were still alive, I probably wouldn't be the person that I am today. I know I am a good person, and I have come to terms that I have a kind heart. I will always give the best of me to my friends and my partner. I will make sure I will treat her better than you ever treated my mom. I will make sure I will give her the world. I will make sure I will never harm her. I will make sure I will never be you. I never refer to you as my dad, but you are my father, and I can't change that. But I can change the puzzle pieces of you in my head. I will rearrange them into a beautiful picture, create some space in my head with these thoughts of you. For years I have thought about writing this to you, and I always put it off. I was afraid to go down memory lane and think as deep as I did about you like this. But here I am, writing this out, reading it to the world, sharing my thoughts of you to faceless people who I will never meet. I can rest easy now, and I'll always have this look back on. I have won this war. You are nothing but a memory to me.